For ADC, I'm going to say Sivir. I know Lethality was getting hyped up, and Lethality users are sort of the flavor of the month, but I honestly don't like them because they have some burst, but they do way less sustained like DPS than other AD carries. And like as a Janus sort of player, I think right now the best AD carries do well in like standard front to back team fights, which are fights when all five players from both teams go to mid or Baron or whatever, and neither team assassinates the other carries. They're just determined by whose carries kill the enemy front line faster. And so you have these giant front lines like Cho'Gath and Maokai and Gragas, and lethality AD carries just can't get through them. Like there's that one game Sneaky was playing like Jhin versus Cho'Gath, Maokai, Kassadin, Sivir, Taric, and it was just like super sad watching him like get run over or like barely scratch them in every team fight. So yeah, I prefer AD carries that can actually shred tanks. So Kog'Maw is actually interesting because his W with Blade of the Rune King does a lot of percent HP damage, which completely ignores Stoneplate. But I think Sivir is really good and undervalued because she's already really strong, but people just find her boring or something, so they don't play her. Like a few patches ago, Riot made Infinity Edge and Essence Reaver cost less, which Sivir benefits a lot from because she really wants her crit items. So like Sivir isn't already in a pretty good spot, and she's just underplayed because she's like boring or whatever. But also apparently now Riot's gonna add like 30 damage on her Q, which comes out to an extra like 56 damage if you hit both parts with it. So it's a nice early game buff for an AD carry that's already strong. Like I think Sivir already flies under the radar because people don't enjoy playing her, and even without the buff, she's a pretty strong AD carry. For support, obviously I'm biased, but yeah, Janna's great. I've already talked a lot about why and how I think Janna is strong now, so I'm not going to repeat all that. I'd just like to do some honorable mentions. So the first is Sona, and one advantage Sona has is a good matchup into Janna, and also just she just gets a ton out of her build and can carry team fights. I just hesitate to put her over Janna because it's a lot easier to feed on Sona. And the second is Tarek. I think Tarek also scales really well and has better matchups than he used to, so in that sense he's a lot like Janna, but beyond that I'm not really sure. I don't play Tarek much, but that's what it feels like. Also, I think he got some buff for people who understand how his passive works. I also don't play mid or have a great sense of how mid lane matchups go or anything like that, but so yeah, I'm just gonna say Karthus and leave it at that. Like I could try making up some like BS about how he fits into the current meta or itemization or something, but honestly, I don't know why. It feels like Karthus in my game are strong, and I've had good players playing Karthus. For jungle, this isn't very creative, but yeah, like Maokai, tanks are great, woohoo. Maokai, Cho'Gath, Gragas, all those guys are great, but Maokai just feels like the best to me personally. Again, I don't know enough about them to really say why, but yeah, Maokai. And I figure so far these champs have all been pretty boring. So for top, I'm gonna say Mordekaiser. If I had to guess why, I would say like Storm Raiders or tank matchups or something, but I have no idea, honestly, no clue. But for an honorable mention for another champ, I have no clue why also is Akali, but Akali main played her to rank 1 and she might get a buff. But anyways, Mordekaiser, I saw C9 Ray playing him and it looked good. That might just have been Ray being good though, so I don't know. But I just figured I have no idea what's good top, and I might as well make at least one of these picks spicy.